Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love MMA as much as I do. I know it's been a while, but I'm on my little spring break as of yesterday after work, so I'm going to be posting a lot more. And I'm going to start with Justin Gaethje taking on Fiziev in a rematch. Remember last year, not last year, but a few years ago when they fought the first time, I said Gaethje's winning the fight was better for business than Fiziev at the time. I talked about how also how he finished the fight. He finished stronger than Fiziev did. Now, clearly, if you look at the stats and everything, Fiziev fought better than Gaethje did that night. He beat him up for 2 rounds. Or was it a 5-round fight? I can't remember. But I do remember Gaethje winning on what I thought was a controversial decision. You know, I thought Fiziev fought better. But, you know, my main concern is not just Fiziev already fighting him and, excuse me, having the confidence to beat him in a rematch, but Gaethje's coming off a loss, and not just any type of loss. He's coming off a knockout loss to Max Holloway. You know, in a fight where a lot of people thought he was going to beat Holloway because clearly he was bigger. He had a lot of knockout power, you know. But I said for that fight, you know, I said Holloway's a dangerous fight for him. He didn't really need to take that fight. He probably should have just waited for the title fight, and I think he paid for that, you know. Now, I know he made a lot of money, but I feel like it hurt him more than it helped him losing that fight. I mean, anytime you lose is not good, but sometimes there's ways you can lose fights, things happen, and you kind of prepare yourself. Gaethje had everything to lose. I don't know. Here's the thing. Gaethje's lost before, but not like that, you know. And again, nothing against Holloway, but Holloway should not have beat him like how he did. You know, Holloway's a lot smaller than him. Gaethje was stronger. He had more punching power than Holloway did. And he didn't really gain anything in that fight, you know, and I feel like that hurt him, you know. Now, I think Gaethje can win any fight, obviously. And I don't think he should be taking this fight either, you know. I feel like he has nothing to really gain in this fight either. You know, he's fighting a guy he's already beat before, you know. So, with that being said, I feel like Fiziev, I know he's not perfect. He's not where he wants to be, obviously. But he's fought Gaethje before. And now I feel like him losing that fight really hurt him. You know, and I feel like I feel like Fiziev gained more from losing to Gaethje than Gaethje gained from fighting Fiziev. Meaning Gaethje has kind of had nowhere else to go except win the championship, and he hasn't done that yet, unfortunately. Not the undisputed title anyway, because I know he won an interim title 5 years ago. But Fiziev, he's still young. He's still in his prime. He hasn't really been beat up too much, so he's got nowhere to go but up. And unfortunately for Gaethje, again, and some guys don't respond well when being knocked out like that. I don't know. He's never been knocked out, so I'm going to assume the worst. You know, and again, Gaethje can win, but I'm going to have to go with Fiziev. Fiziev was better than Gaethje in that fight years ago. You know, I can only imagine he's gotten better since then. He's going to try to knock out Gaethje. Do I think he actually knocks out Gaethje? Possible. I don't think he'll knock him out cold like Holloway did, but I do believe he beats Gaethje. He finds a way to win the fight. I wouldn't be surprised if he dominates this fight because, again, we don't know what to expect from Gaethje. I know he's a knockout guy, but he's been knocked out now. You know, and again, he's lost fights before, but not like this. So I'm a Gaethje fan. Obviously, I have the American flag. You know who I want to win this fight, but I got to go with Fiziev. I think Fiziev wins this fight, and it's actually convincing how he wins. This reminds me of Stipe when he fought JDS the first time. Clearly was better in that fight, but he still lost according to the judges. I would not be shocked if Fiziev beats Gaethje and beats him within 2 rounds and TKOs him to the point where, you know, and again, another thing I don't like is Gaethje's already talked about retiring. So to me, that's a bad thing in this sport. Fiziev by TKO within 2 rounds. I think he'll just be too much for Gaethje. He'll outsmart Gaethje on the feet. He'll be more technical like he was in the last fight, but he finds a way to put him out. And again, I remember when Rampage fought Shogun 20 years ago in Pride. And I think it was Rutten or someone that was, or maybe it was Phil Baroni, whoever was help commentating that fight. They say once you've been knocked out twice in any sport, it's easier to get knocked out a second time. I got Fiziev by TKO.